Good morning, everybody. I'm Bart Winkler. This is the Bart Winkler Show. Thanks for finding us. Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast, maybe YouTube. The show is being taped on Sunday night after the Bucks fall to the Seattle Super Rockets. That's what they look like with the green and yellow jerseys. Hard not to think that it was the Supersonics for most of that game. Rockets a good young team, or at least a team that is building and very young, but I'm trying to justify a loss to the Rockets. It's all right. I mean, you want to win every game. You want to win every game, and you watch a game and it comes down to the wire like this, and then when there's ways that you could have won and you lose, it's like you want to get real nitpicky on that stuff, and we may a little bit here tonight. As always with the YouTube shows, you can watch them live, you can comment live, and you can use the StreamYard link that I put out each and every night with the YouTube on my Twitter as well. We are coming live during the Sunday Night Football game. I know Wisconsin captivated by everything going on in Chargers and Dolphins, so we'll keep an eye on that. Vikings got destroyed by the Lions today, and some other things where if you're a Packer fan hoping for the playoffs, and there might be some optimism that wasn't there 12 hours ago. So we'll talk about all that coming up here on the show. Before I get started, I do want to give my condolences to the Grant Wall family. Grant Wall, a prestigious, renowned soccer journalist, but it's finding out that it's not just the journalism that people are missing or going to miss. It's him. I never talked to him. I never had him on any of my shows, but with one kind of hand in the journalism community and another in the soccer community, I found out I know a lot of people that have interacted with this guy, gone far too soon, passed away while covering the World Cup in Qatar. This happened Friday night. It's hard not to think some of the things that you think right away about what happened. I don't know how it happened. Finding out more reports, the fact that there wasn't a defibrillator in the stadium is enough to say what is going on over there, and then everything else. So just for now, thoughts to his family and everything. And I guess another, like a Qatari photojournalist died now. I don't know what's going on over there. So wanted to say that. Lots of sports this weekend, despite no Packer game. Tim Shea, our Badgers correspondent. Are you lying to me? You said so since 5:30 you've been locked into this Badger game?
Yeah.
No Bucks, no nothing?
Oh, you meant a conversation, a Sunday conversation and talk. Let me put my Sunday down real quick.
What was that?
Get it?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Badgers. Big win.
Jesus, Tim.
Big win.
All right. This is a Bucks post game.
Yeah, it's a Badger post game.
You want to talk about the Badgers?
All show.
All right. I did flip it on. Badgers played today. UWM played today. I believe they took care of business. Marquette played today.
They won.
Badgers won. And then the Bucks lost. So a good day otherwise. But the Badger game, I turned it on, and it looked like Fran wanted to kill someone.
Right when he got teed up?
Then I turned it back on, and it said Iowa went on 8-0 run, and the game was tied. Then I saw Chucky miss at the buzzer. Then I turned it back into overtime. They were down 3. But then I turned it back on, and they were, icing out the clock. So what happened? I saw you tweet it was one of the best non-tournament games you've ever seen.
Yeah, it was wild. For a game to be 27-27 at half and the final score was 78-75. Absolutely crazy. Just how it went down the last like 25 seconds, Iowa went on an 8-0 run. Or 5-0 run, I guess, technically. They hit a 3-pointer. All the Badgers had to do was inbound the ball and get fouled, and Iowa stole the ball, hit another shot, tied the game up, and then Chucky got a chance to win the game. I don't know why he is always being called on to hit the final shot. I think that's the second time this year. I know he hit the game winner last year against Purdue to win the Big Ten, but He missed again. Game went into overtime. It was kind of just back and forth all overtime. Badgers, 2 steals down the end and iced the game away on the free throw line. So just a crazy game. Just a crazy game. And it's always crazy against Iowa.
What happened to the Badgers this week? They beat Maryland and they beat Marquette.
They beat Marquette, they beat Maryland, and they beat Iowa from last Saturday to today.
Okay, then they go a little non-conference for a little bit and have Minnesota on the 3rd. But they should be, I think the discussion is they should be ranked.
Yeah, I could definitely see them being ranked. It's mid-20s, maybe like 19, 20. At least. I'm putting that on the low end, but they had a good week. They had a good 9 days here. So,
okay.
Yeah, just a good Big Ten. And that game was a good Big Ten game, and then all of a sudden, in overtime, no one missed a shot. So,
Tavern says Chucky is 2-9 in his career in game tying or game winning opportunities. Time for a change, you'd think, instead of Chuck it Chucky.
Yeah.
So look at that. Wow. You walk in trying to do a Bucks post-game show, and we're going all Badgers. I want to change that, and we're going to change that right after these words. All right, so we're back. I got to do that for Blue Wire.
No, I got you.
It is weird live on YouTube, but I like to get him in early so that I can just, I don't have to worry about,
I got
it. Doesn't matter. I do want to talk Bucks. So there's a lot to talk about in this game. They lose 97-92. I thought Drew had a really good night. I captained him tonight in the DraftKings I did. What I noticed about Drew is when he gets a steal, it's like 50-50. He's going to turn it right back over. That happened a couple times tonight.
I didn't watch most of the game. So what happened? It was
a pretty close game. It looked like they were going to stroll in the 3rd. They took a lead in the 1st, gave it back. Looked like they were going to stroll. And then down the stretch, Houston was in a slam dunk contest with themselves. Grayson tried to dunk, and he missed it at the rim.
See that.
Then the Bucks had a nice lob from Giannis to Brook, but it was goaltending or offensive interference. And then, Houston.
I guess Houston
on those other possessions.
Houston was playing with a little more emotion tonight with Paul Silas, the death of their coach's father, old Hornets coach.
Yeah, that guy was pumped up tonight, and deservedly so. All right, I did see the other thing. The other name I haven't mentioned yet is Chris Middleton. Middleton tonight, no points. But he also left the game 6 minutes into the game. It didn't look bad. It just looked like he was like, something's hurt. Take me out. Okay. But then they said, all right, it's an ankle sprain.
Okay, so he wasn't like limping out or,
no, he's just like, hey, just take me out. Take me out. Right. And I saw this comment that comes in on YouTube. JM says, I'm worried that Middleton is breaking down. And I saw a lot of that online tonight. And we bring in Hot Take Jake, who has been on the trade Middleton train. And you think this gives more credence to that, HTJ?
Hello.
Who's on your shirt?
Oh, that's Jeff Goldblum.
That's what I thought. Very
He's the
interesting.
Man.
Wow.
I got to be careful tonight. My wife's sitting next to me right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She says hi.
Hi, Mrs. Hot Take.
I don't want to bring her on because I know Tim's a heartbreaker. And next thing you know, it's like Macho Man Randy Savage once said, somebody wanted to bring their girlfriend into like a TV angle for wrestling. And he was like, I brought my wife in for one angle, and then I didn't have no wife after that. So I see Tim looking like only he can look. I remember
there was one time at the station like 4 years ago where everybody was like trying to out girlfriend the other person on air. They're all like, oh yeah, well, me and my lady, well, me and my girl, well, me and my girlfriend, well, me and my fifth wife.
That sounds like more of a KB type conversation than a Bart Winkler show conversation.
Hey, I'm just concerned about what happens inside these walls. Okay.
Those are some nice looking walls you got there.
Yeah. Should I take you? Instead, I'm going to take you into my recording studio.
Beautiful.
All right.
You about to
All
drop
right.
some fire? No,
Talk to me about Middleton, Jake.
Yeah, well, first thing, I'm looking at some comments, and I like that I see not this guy, and then incoming Horvat slander from Matthew. Matthew, first of all, it can't be slander if it's true, so you
Not
need
this
to adjust
guy.
your comment. And then I see HTJ is full of shit, respectfully. Reminded me of a lot of people who wanted the hater trade in June. No, actually, I wanted a hater trade, but I wanted a hater trade with a direction, meaning like you either go all in and get like guys that can help you, or you go and build your minor league roster up. But the Brewers did the classic like Herb Cole Bucks trade where 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and you got nothing. So yeah,
I want to. So the hater trade, just real quick to promote the next show. I'm going to talk a little more Brewers on the next episode of this, and I dabbled in it at the end of Friday's show. I played a voicemail from John and Franklin, and I think I really came to terms with why everyone was so upset about last season. So I'm going to talk a bunch of Brewers coming up. Just also some programming notes. I do plan to do a Bucks Warriors post on Tuesday, but I'm probably going to be there, so I don't know what'll happen. But anyway, go ahead.
I'll be tuned in. But no, I mean, I'm going to just kind of pull in Aaron Rodgers here, and to all these commenters is, you should maybe look into the facts on that one. Do your own research on your HTJ takes. But hey, it was a positive Sunday. I didn't have to watch Aaron Rodgers passive aggressively, like rip teammates and, rip open his coach live on the air. So that was a positive. This game, though, the Bucks, this is what happens when you play with your food. It felt like they didn't take it seriously. It reminded me that a lot of games last year, like coming off the title, I feel like they just kind of, we'll just kind of coast and then take it in at the end. But yeah, I mean, it sucks because they were so close to getting better positioning last year in the playoffs. And I feel like there's a lot of games where they just kind of thought they were going to coast to the end, ended up losing. And, people will be like, oh, it's a game in December. It doesn't mean anything, but they all count in the column at the end of the year. So these are the things you can't have. I mean, Houston has a young athletic team, but you should not be losing to Houston, even with Middleton out. Which, by the way, did Middleton
it's forced from the tree situation. I mean, you can't. If anybody's out there saying, "Well, you could have gained a game on the Celtics after they lost Saturday night," just relax. That's what I mean. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I don't think the Bucks need the 1 seed. Look, there's 2 teams in the East. It's the Bucks and the Celtics. I know the Sixers are all happy because Embiid's like throwing up 50 points a game, but they're only 2 games over. I don't know. I just think the Bucks and the Celtics are so far and above everyone. And I think the Bucks are above the Celtics. So I get what you're saying. And it's a game like this where there's clear like circumstances. Oh, that happened, and then they lost. That occurred, and then they lost.
I thought this was like a good barometer of when I said that I would trade Chris Middleton and why would I do it. It's a lot of things on display tonight, besides the fact that he got hurt again, because he tends to do that a lot. And again, it was a non-contact injury, so it's just kind of like, is this guy just injury prone? We can go back and look at his injury history, and it seems like, you could make the argument that they're freak injuries, but when it's constantly happening, I feel like there's something there. But the other thing that I said about potentially trading Middleton is that this team is old and they're slow. And the biggest reason they lost tonight was because Houston out-hustled them with athletic plays and athletic players. Houston didn't shoot the ball at all. They were terrible from 3, and yet they still just kind of out-energied the Bucks in this one. The Jason Kidd special, like the true Jason Kidd special, effort and energy.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it. I am happy to listen to your side of the coin, but I'm going to move on with my life after this one.
Fair enough. But, when this is the precursor to like the next 60 to 90 days of Coach Bud being like, Chris is progressing. We hope to have him back soon. He's progressing. And
to talk about what you're saying with the young guys, Okay, Beauchamp didn't play. Is he still sick? I mean, Wara played 5 minutes. You got guys that are younger, so if you're going to play a team like Houston that's going to be young and quick, I mean, we can at least go a little younger. So there's something to that as well. All right, Jake, I'm going to bid you adieu.
All right, to all my haters, I love you so much. You guys keep me going.
It does look like Alex wants to know if you're on the shitter. This YouTube view you have, it does look like a bathroom.
This is my wife's office. That's her backdrop she picked. It's like rustic, like I don't know what you would call this. It's wood. It's actually like
it
cloth.
looks like a toilet. Your fan here looks like a toilet paper holder.
But it's got pictures that my kids drew, like a pink dolphin. That's pretty dope.
Totally something that would be okay, maybe a little better.
Yeah.
All right.
So
yeah,
just before I go,
people have questions and want to give answers.
That means I had sex, just so you know, because I have kids. And that's what all of these shows are about.
I have kids, so I had one. Yeah. All right, Jake and Mrs. Hot Take. Thank you, guys.
Love you.
I love you too. Grant also says with Chris, the best reliability is accountability. I would agree to that. Alex also wants to know that he's more worried that I wear the same clothes every night. I have my Milwaukee Pro Soccer sweatshirt. I have this. I have a hoodie. I got at least 6 or 7 things that I wear on these. The problem is I do wear things consecutively quite a bit. The shower habits have decreased. I still shower, it's just at different times. Adam says Fran always looks like the refs killed his dog. Dude, so to go back to the Badger game real quick, Fran, the coach at Iowa, Fran McCaffrey, who I was thinking to myself, hey, remember when his kids used to play there? And I guess they still do.
They still do. They dominated overtime, both of them.
Why that face looked like it was intense, man.
There was kind of a ticky-tack foul. It was a foul, but it was kind of a ticky-tack. And you know how he gets with the refs. It happens all the time. And it feels like it happens all the time.
I didn't watch as much as you because there were other things on, man. It was NFL Sunday.
It was just a tight. When it gets into a tight game with Iowa, and there's a call that doesn't.
Did the refs lean back on Iowa? I saw that online.
No,
where they were letting Iowa play more after that. I thought Fran's tactics maybe worked.
Maybe a little. You get that look. You saw the look. I mean, it's all over Twitter. But
yeah.
It happens all the time. I'm used to it. I was waiting for it, and I kept on saying to myself, when is he going to get the technical? Because he was barking at the refs for pretty much the entire game. So
yeah. Here, I'll post a StreamYard on YouTube if anyone wants to play. It's also on my Twitter. You guys can comment here on YouTube as well. That actually goes really good. Matt says, if you cheer for the Badgers and don't have a degree from Madison, you're a huge redneck.
Well, okay, man.
I'm not there, man.
No,
I'm not there.
Not even close. No.
Look, I went to lacrosse. What am I supposed to do? When do I cheer? Never. They made the D3 playoffs and they got bounced in the first round. And then even if they make the D3 final, what am I supposed to get hype on a Friday at 4 p.m. on ESPNU? The game's barely whatever. What? Hey, WEAC. It's a state school. I root for state school. Dustin wants to know what's the best gummy for the Bucks losing to a team they should beat in the Middleton injury. Oh, I would just go with I would go CBD CBN. I'd go with the nighttime ones.
Nighttime, fall asleep. Don't remember it. Go ahead.
That's the thing about those gummies, and we're talking about the gummies at happyplacehemp.com. You can use the promo code BART, get 25% off every order. Stocking stuffers. So there's some that are THC free. There's some that, Delta 8, Delta 9, THCO. That's a nice little stocking stuffer to somebody in your life. I don't know who, your mom, your cousin, your dad, your stepmom, whatever.
Hell, you can even go your pet. You can even go your pet.
But the thing that I like about these specifically is because I've taken other things to help fall asleep, and then you're not thinking about falling asleep. You're thinking about, when am I going to get drowsy? When am I going to get drowsy? I need to get drowsy. And when you feel like it's going to be, you take it and then it's like you fall asleep. When I take these gummies, for night, it's like, and then it's morning. It's like I'm going along, and then the next thing I know, I'm up. So you just kind of fall asleep. Again, I'm going to refer to Patty's tweet the other day because she said I took one. I was like, oh my God, these aren't. And then it said, so they work. So those are the ones that I use the most. Might dip into the Delta. Maybe just go light on a Delta 8. I got to get up tomorrow morning and take my kid to daycare and then go back home. I got a pretty light week.
Yeah.
Soccer tournament's winding down, so it's less that I'm required for the Milwaukee Pro Soccer.
Yeah, you got the semifinals, though. Big semifinals.
Got the semis this week. I was at the Croatian Eagles Soccer Club on Friday. That was like the best time I had this cup.
I saw some of your videos. They looked pretty cool.
So I'm totally into Croatia. I'm totally into Morocco. This is the farthest an African nation has ever been. I'm totally into France because they beat England. And for some reason, even though I always thought I was German growing up, I guess I'm mostly English. I don't like that team. Screw them. And then,
where are you watching the semifinals?
Where?
Yes.
I'm going to go back to that Croatian club.
Okay, that's on Tuesday. Do they play on Tuesday?
Yeah.
And then what about Wednesday?
Argentina plays Croatia.
Where will you? Oh,
no.
I thought that was Tuesday.
France plays Croatia.
Morocco.
I don't fucking know. You'd think I would know.
Okay. Where will you be Wednesday?
I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Oh, I don't know.
All right. Some more comments that are coming in. Adam also says, Middleton tore his hamstring prior to winning a title. I'm not reading anything into it. If you look at the play where he got hurt, it was really like, they showed it and you're like, where's he get hurt? Where's he get hurt? You lean in, where's he get hurt? Where's he get hurt? And then I didn't see it. And he just goes, take me out. And then they're not going to put him back in. I mean, he just came off an injury. This is a game they think they could win. The Bucks, the one thing I want to say about the Bucks is their schedule blows. They're like basically on a long road trip with a couple stops at home. So they went to Dallas. The Dallas game was fun, right? Everybody saw those clips about Luka knowing the play that the Bucks knew and Jason Kidd didn't. Then they're in Houston. They're going to come back, play Golden State, then go right to Memphis, then have to come back for one at home, then go to New Orleans, Cleveland, Brooklyn, Boston for Christmas, Chicago, which I think they can sneak home for that too. But it's a lot of travel and a lot of nights away from the homestead. So we were talking about the Kings the other night, how they're starting a 6-game road trip. This could be looked at as like a longer type road trip. So we'll see if that has any effect on them. Brandon says, can you talk about how the Packers still have a playoff chance after the Giants and the Seahawks lose? So there is a path for the Packers to make the playoffs. I think why this is even worth entertaining for a minute is that the Packers don't play anybody good coming up. The Vikings are frauds. The Lions might be the best team they play. They've got the Rams, and I haven't talked about Baker yet. That was so awesome. That game that Baker won was so awesome. How about that? You go to a new job, and in 48 seconds or 48 hours, you're like automatically the hero.
Kind of like me when I went to 1250. So
you did. When you went to 1250, people are like, who is this guy? What's he doing here? What can he contribute? And then all of a sudden, you were talking about Scrub-a-Dub, and you were a hit. So here's where we're at. The Eagles have clinched. The Vikings could have, and they got destroyed. The Niners look very good. Brock Purdy looked better than any quarterback I've seen in green and gold this year.
Yep.
Tampa Bay is the 4 seed at 6-7, which does suck. Tampa, again, I did it this week. I cost myself money. Every week I take Tom Brady thinking that he's going to, have a big week in these dailies and go for 4 or 5 touchdowns, and then he sucks. But
the NFL should make a rule that if a division winner is not above 500, then they just automatically bring over a wild card team to take that spot, the 4 seed.
Yeah, maybe over 500. I still like that you have to win your division. I like that, but I mean, who would you rather? This Tampa team, they don't look any good. The Seahawks are a better record. They're more than deserving. The Lions. I mean, the Lions are more deserving. If this
The
was
Lions
done
have a
by
very
team,
the Lions have a favorable schedule to make the playoffs here if they can sneak in.
So if we're going to make the playoffs, the teams that we are fighting for are the Washington Commanders at 7-5-1, the Giants at 7-5-1, who, we win both those games. We're in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So we screwed that up. The Seahawks are 7-6 now. Lions are 6-7. We're 5-8. So we're in the hunt. We're good enough right now to be in the hunt things. Again, I don't know. Speaking of the Lions, how about our old friend Dan Plucker? Did you see that?
No.
Dan Plucker, former WSSP colleague who got out before the, tweeted at Barry Sanders. And Barry Sanders tweeted him back he won a jersey.
Oh, nice.
Barry Sanders tweeted Dan Plucker.
Nice.
I'm Bart Winkler. That's Tim Shea. Let's make this a Twitter Spaces. I got Cone Roller in a bag, and I got Tony in Texas joining as well. What's up, boys?
Hey, everyone.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Ahead.
Cone, you jumped in here for the room first. I'll send it to you first. Cone Roller in a Trader Joe's bag, concealing his identity. He's got, again, 2 eye holes so he can see and a mouth hole to speak out of. And he's tonguing us.
I just wanted to hop in quick to talk Badgers. What a great win on the road. Big Ten play is always tough. It's always ugly, but Greg Gard just knows how to pull out those ugly wins. And honestly, I don't know if there's a better coach in the Big Ten right now than Greg Gard.
You were very high on his sweater vest the other night.
Absolutely. He's looking sharp this season, dressing up as all the old coaches. He wore the red blazer about a month ago, busting out the sweater vest against Maryland. I mean, how can you not love the guy? He's more of a mob boss than Bo Ryan even was.
Well, the part that I like about Greg Gard is that that's his legacy to me. Quitting in a way to get Gard that job. What a baller move. He quits randomly. No one knows what's going on. Oh, that was great.
Agreed.
That's my whole breakdown on that. Yeah.
He's earned the job, and he's done a great job with the program. Obviously, we'd like to see his recruiting improve a little bit, but a Seagen, we got Gus Bus coming in soon. I'm happy with Greg Gard, and he's got the keys to this team for life.
Well, I appreciate the two of you, Tim and Cone, for being such Badger diehards with all the other content today. You went with that. I respect that.
I was more excited for the Badger game today than any NFL game, no doubt.
Wow. Good for you. Anything else, Cone?
No, other than did not expect them to pull that game out in overtime. Tim, you said you had an issue with Chucky taking that last shot in regulation, right?
I always have, yeah.
Yeah. I would have liked to see Seagen or Tyler Wall there.
What was that stat? 2 for 9 in game tying or game winning?
He's not Trayvon Jackson, that's for sure.
Just because he hit that one against Purdue doesn't mean he can hit them all. So.
Yeah.
All right, Cone. I gotta cut you off here, Cone. First of all, Barry Alvarez is the original guy.
No, the momentum's riding high on this Chucky Hepburn. Is Chucky Hepburn a closer? 414-799-1250.
Not yet.
Okay.
He's like a Cameron Taylor type.
Who you got cut out?
Cameron Taylor type. Is he closer? You can't hear me?
Well, I mean, your internet's pretty shitty.
Hey, well, all right, Bart. I got to say this though. Your Titans theory holds true again. I don't know if you mentioned it. You're a fucking genius.
None of the podcasts I tweeted about it. I see a Cone. My Titans theory for the last 3 years is because it's not that they're a good bad team. It's not that they only beat bad teams and then lose to good teams. It's wherever the national narrative is on them. That's when you go the other way. So the Titans, they made the AFC Championship game last year, but nobody thought they were gonna. So you bet on the Titans because of that. And then when the Titans start to get like, oh, are the Titans for real? No, then you bet against them. And today they were 4-point favorites over Jacksonville. And that was, I mean, it's clear as day Jacksonville is going to win that game. So the Titans theory is rock solid. Absolutely.
Catch a lot of shit online from people like Bodie, and I got to give you credit on this one.
Well, the Titans next week, I'll have to see how the Chargers do tonight because the Titans are 2.5-point dogs at Los Angeles. I'll have my Titans pick for you later in the week. Stay tuned.
All right. So I hope you guys can hear me. Someone's saying, what do I think about the Packers and they have a chance? I will say they probably don't have a chance, but I was scoreboard watching again, Bart. Is that just ridiculous?
For the Packers?
Yeah, I was watching the Giants. I was seeing the Seahawks. I was scoreboard watching still.
You've got Matt in the Falls with his head in his hands.
Why? Just give up already.
I know.
Just give up. I can't take it anymore. It hurts my heart for you.
You can't scoreboard watch a team when they're 5-8, Tone.
I know. But hey, Tom Brady's going to get in the playoffs. Look at that garbage.
Well, yeah, he's got a free pass
every year off a shitty division. Nothing changes, no matter what conference or team he's on.
Yeah,
just skirting in by a shitty division.
I gotta ask you this though, Bart. This Packer Rams game coming up, aren't you a little bit excited to watch Baker Mayfield now against the Packers?
Well, I love Baker. I thought he was QB1 coming out of that draft. That was wrong, but I love him. It's Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I'm so excited that I actually booked. I'm working that night.
Where?
Is that the Chuck reunion?
All right, so Matt, as a Packer fan,
I'm gonna do PA for Shorewood High School.
Nice. That's almost the same thing.
They have. I don't even know if it's a boys' game or a girls' game. In fact, they just told me it was a varsity game. It might not even be basketball.
Who knows? Tony, what were you saying? Tony had a question. I'm eating ravioli, so sorry.
Oh, I got some shitty internet right now. Can you hear me, Bart?
Oh, I think it's Bart because I do too.
Bart, I'm gonna drop. I got shitty internet.
Oh no.
I got great internet.
I got bad internet.
Okay.
It's gonna get good.
All right. You're looking shitty too, Matt. I got you.
Well, no, now it was good, but for a while there, when you were saying, "Oh, Tony, it's your internet," you were like, on your end. That was like a bad internet thing.
Fucking internet.
Yeah.
You know,
hey,
technology makes our lives so great, but isn't it almost more trouble than it's worth?
Bart, while I have you, can we talk Croatia, Brazil?
Yes.
So I'm serious here. I want to know from a soccer fan such as yourself. I want to know how, because I sent you the picture of the final goal where the ball is in the left side of the goal and the goalie is diving as far as he possibly can to the opposite direction of the ball. I want to understand. I want to try to understand this with an open mind, because to me it seems absurd. So I don't know the whole like dive one way, ball goes the other way thing.
The nature of penalty kicks. Hold on. What the?
Bart is drinking. Bart is currently drinking. In case you're listening.
No, it's water.
Well, yeah, I didn't say you were drinking alcohol.
Oh,
that was you.
Right? All right. So in the penalty kick, and you can debate whether it's the right way to finish a game. As the goalie, you're fucked. So let me tell you this.
It seems like it's really unfair.
12 yards is way too close. It is way too close. Now, some people, because that's where the spot is. It's 12 yards away from the goal. Some people say what the MLS used to do when it started was they had a guy start 35 years away. 35 yards away. And then he would run, and then the goalie would run, and they would have to try to figure out. And it was a little more exciting, but it made the odds better. It made the odds better because right now the odds favor the kicker for sure. And when you're someone standing there on the 12-yard line or the spot, and you're looking at the goal, you're like, oh, this will be pretty easy to score. When you're the goalie, you're like, this guy's like right in front of me. There's no fucking chance at this. So what they have to do, goalies essentially have to guess. You study where the guy likes to it's a guessing game. Now, sometimes you can, I was always taught, watch the eyes or watch the hips, but now these guys like stutter or whatever.
I saw the stutter step, and that was,
yeah.
I mean, because like in hockey, the penalties are awesome because you start at half ice and you can do all sorts of moves and tricks and spins.
Yeah.
So
if you're the goalie, you pretty much have to guess.
Okay.
You pretty much have to guess. And then if you step off your line to guess, that you can't do that. So it is.
Then they'll just go the other way.
So when a guy like Morocco's keeper saves 3 in a row, like that was a World Cup moment, man. That was bonkers. And then Harry Kane's kick for England when he skies it over. I mean, that you can't be doing. But yeah, a lot of times goalies have to guess. It sucks. That's why you see a lot of shootouts go 5-4, 4-3. Get back to the Packers because people are dropping like flies.
Sure. Cone roller. Why do you still wear a bag? Because the team's 5-8, so that's like well past bag territory. Like
Cone does not want his identity revealed.
Why? Because he smokes weed and we all know it because that's what his name is. I don't know. This is Happy Place podcast. Bart's pouring more Coke into his Captain and Coke.
More Coke into my water.
Coke into the water. Hey.
Busted.
It takes a lot more to slip one past me, Bart, especially when you're on video. Bart has his head in his hands right now. For anyone who's not watching, he's very embarrassed. He is the color of a strawberry. And the ring light really enhances his redness. So I'm happy.
Yeah, you got me. You Veruca salted me. All right, Matt.
Yeah, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you later. You can get this back on track. Again, trying to figure out the StreamYard, and here I go.
All right. I will say, I do want to say, from as far as like, okay, so it's like, I normally I could talk about these post games for an hour and people are still hanging out, whatever. And the NFL game, as we're talking, is at halftime. So hey, that's some good. As soon as Matt brought up soccer, people dipped.
So the Giants and Commanders played last week, correct?
Yeah, they tied.
They tied. Yeah, they play next Sunday again. They're the Sunday night game.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens in the NFL sometimes.
Where they'll play.
I'm going to give you some quick thoughts on every game.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Hit me.
Jets and Bills. Man, the Jets are going to say it's the quarterback. They suck, though. They're not that good of a team. And the Jets fans were talking like, well, if we can pick off the Bills, we can still get the AFC East. Nah, man, you suck. Bengals are the real deal. Joe Burrow struggled a little bit in the first half. Browns, man, they got to be disappointed. You get Deshaun Watson, you think it's going to be great. Then he obviously can't play. Then he comes back and sucks. Scores 10 points. Cowboys and Texans. That spread was too high, 17 points. Cowboys get the win, though. Should they have done better? Fine, sure. But that's a good team. I still like them to go to the Super Bowl. The Lions beat the Vikings. The Lions this was like the story of the NFL this week, that the Lions were favored 5-7 over a 10-2 Vikings team. The Vikings are 10-3 now. Their point differential is -1. They are I don't think they're frauds in the sense that they're not good, but they're not going to win in the playoffs. So if that's what makes a fraud, then they're a fraud.
I'm sure you've seen this. I'm sure everyone's seen this. They are the 2019 Green Bay Packers.
They're not going to beat Dallas, home or away. They're not going to beat the Eagles. They're not going to beat the Niners. They're not. I mean, they'll get in the playoffs and they'll win the North and they'll make T-shirts. So good for them. Jaguars, watch out for them next year. Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. Ooh, we didn't mention this out of the Texans game. Amari Rodgers, 4 for 57 and a touchdown. Let me say this about Amari. They never gave him a shot at receiver.
Yeah, but
they never gave him a true shot. And he was so bad as a returner that he played himself off the roster. They never gave him a real shot at receiver. They
Why?
drafted him as a receiver and then made him do another thing, which he was terrible at, and they never let him try to do the other thing. Would he have been good? I don't know. Is 4 catches for the Houston Texans and a touchdown mean that the Packers screwed up? I don't know. But the way that Clemson used him, because I was so excited about him and ETN and Lawrence, that three, it was a big three. They were so good. And Amari, they used him like you drop it off to him. And then, like, basically how Miami uses Tyreek Hill. That's how Clemson used Amari Rodgers. And I'm not saying Amari's Tyreek, but we didn't trade for Randall Cobb. So is drafting Amari Rodgers going to be this great misstep in Packers history? No. Is letting him go? No. But I don't think that he's going to be like out of the league or even like a Ty Montgomery where what team is Ty Montgomery on now? The answer is New England, injured reserve. Shocking. But I think Amari still has a lot of his career ahead of him. Eagles beat the Giants. Eagles are good.
Yeah.
That's all on that one. Ravens beat the Steelers. I don't got much there. Chiefs beat the Broncos. All right, Chiefs, big lead. Russell Wilson comes back, then gets concussed. Niners, I'm just so shocked at how good Brock Purdy is and how bad Tom Brady is. And then the Panthers beating the Seahawks. If I was in a survivor pool this week, I probably would have taken Seattle, but Panthers got the dub. And as we're talking, the Chargers have a lead over the Dolphins. And the Chargers are going to win this game because everybody on Sunday Night Football took the Dolphins.
That Buccaneers game was so bad they opted out of that on Fox earlier in the third quarter. Once again, second time that's happened. If the if the playoffs started today, the Vikings would be playing the New York Giants. Would they win that game?
If what?
If the playoffs started today, the Vikings would be playing the New York Football Giants. Would the Vikings win that game?
Yeah, the Giants, I mean, they were looking good, but they have just looked like dog shit the last month. Let's do the thing that Paul Emmett always does. If you're the college football committee, who's the 4 in? I say it's the Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, and Cowboys. And I would rank you got to give the Eagles the 1 seed. Well, those are the best 4 teams. I do think it's going to be Bills, Chiefs again.
I take the Eagles out. Sorry. What did you say?
Well, all these teams that I mentioned have double-digit win totals. Bills and Chiefs are 1-2, and then the Eagles are 1 with 12 wins, but then the Cowboys are the 5 seed because they have the Eagles in their division. Cowboys are 4 games up on the Buccaneers and have a 1 lower seed than them.
I'd take the Cowboys out and I'd put the 49ers in.
Okay, not over the Cowboys.
Yes.
Cowboys are awesome.
No. 49ers beat the Cowboys in a playoff.
Maybe you could put the Niners in over the Bills based on style points.
I think I'm taking the Cowboys out and putting the 49ers in. I think the 49ers are better than the Cowboys. I think the 49ers are better than the Bills.
Let me grab one voicemail here since we're on the topic. Voicemail is brought to you by Carl's Place, 402-915-BART, 402-915-2278. They've got golf simulators that they can customize for you. If there's a spot in your house where you want a golf simulator, they will do it with all the nooks and crannies and all the tricks. You can just get one where you can play a couple courses, or you can get the technology on there where they like take video of your shot and help you get better. The link to go check some of these out available on my Twitter at Winkstings or carlofet.com. Here is Downtown Billy.
Hey, Bart, it's Downtown Billy here. I've got a question for you. Something I was thinking about. What's more surprising for you looking back at before this NFL season started? How the NFC East panned out with the Commanders in the hunt for a playoff spot, really deep division, or how the AFC West completely blew up going into the year. Everyone was all hyped up about the Raiders and the Broncos and those two teams. Man, they're not good. Baker just really put put that Derek Carr team to bed last night. Thanks for taking the voicemail. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
And he sent that on Friday. I think the AFC West for having right now until we see the Chargers and what happens, and they're up 10 at halftime as we're taping. But the Raiders are 5-8 and look way worse than that, and the Broncos are 3-10. And how bad Russell Wilson's been has just been a joke.
Oh, they were eliminated from the playoffs today, if you cared.
I definitely do.
I agree. I agree with that. The AFC West.
We got Jim from Chicago joining the show from his garage. Got that beautiful Packer flag. I'm going to say that flag is circa, it's mid 90s. I want to say 95.
I was going to say 94.
You are absolutely correct, sir. This is a gift for my mother-in-law. You know, God rest her soul. But yes, you are correct. Mid 90s. This flag is 27 years old.
Yeah, it's got the Packer helmet, but then the background looks a little like starter Zubazy in Jim's garage. What's up, Jim?
Oh man, it's been a long time. It's been a few weeks. It's been a busy month. You know, things going on, stuff like that. So, the boy and I
want to interject you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a busy time, and we have a Christmas tree up, of course. We got a lot of presents under the tree. My wife has bought them all and wrapped them all, and it's very time consuming. And I got to think like the way that when I mow my lawn and I look at it and I stand there for a while, like that looks good. I got to think that she looks like that, but also when did she do all this? I'm at home working 1 hour a day, thinking she's got her job and then doing all this Christmas stuff. Like I still haven't bought her shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, you and your boy.
Wives do that thing, you know, that type of thing. So, but yeah, so we were at Soldiers Field last weekend for the Packer Bear game. We were sitting right down by the tunnel. It was awesome. Needless to say, there were several really pissed off Bears fans at the end of the game, which was fine by me, you know. But like when you go to Chicago as a Packer fan, I went incognito, and my boy decided he was going to Packer himself up, and I'm like, dude, really? Why did you have to do this to me? But it worked out in the end. I made it a point to connect with the dudes, the obnoxious dudes behind me, connect with them right away and say, hey, Justin Fields is going to run one in for you guys. I know it. And he did. And then by the third quarter, I bought him all a beer. And then, we pulled it out and everybody was happy. Well, at least I was happy. So it's all good.
So you went incognito, huh? You didn't want to.
Yeah, I threw a Packer hat on kind of, second quarter just to, I can't hide it that well. I mean, obviously when I'm just sitting on my hands when the Bears are doing good things. So, but no, it was good. There were a lot of Packer fans that, despite our kind of rough season we've had, there were a lot of Packer fans at Soldier Field last week.
Oh, sure. Quick drive. There's a lot of people like you in the area.
Yeah, exactly. All the transplants, people that were when we were growing up. So,
Well, where are you? Tony in Texas at 5-8 is scoreboard watching. Were you there today?
Scoreboard watching, yeah.
Yeah, hoping the Pack can still make it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm that much of a junkie. I was just watching everything, and clearly, mathematically, we're still in it. Clearly, we have to win every game, and we got to hope for help. That's the only thing that kind of keeps the season interesting for us. I mean, it's a very low percentage, but a percentage nonetheless. So, why not? Let's ride it out. I mean, the Bears.
A couple of things I would ask this Monday morning if I had 4 hours in a radio station to play with. I would say, as a Packer fan, what are you hoping for? What would you rather have at 5-8? 4 weeks of real, true playoff contention, or 4 weeks of Jordan Love to see what you have? I would say that. I would also say, what would the Packers' record be if they had Brock Purdy playing all year? And people get real pissed.
If we had Brock Purdy, we'd be undefeated. We all know that.
I mean, if we had Brock Purdy, Mercury Morris would be in the news every week waiting for us to lose.
Exactly.
All right, Jimmy, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Thanks for taking me. Good to see you guys. Take care.
Hey, I'll take you anytime, Jim. You know that. Jim, in Chicago.
You're
All right,
drinking
I'm
out of your drinking out of your water bottle. I'm drinking out of my Badger chalice tonight.
Well, big win.
So, my victory chalice.
Let me just rip through some more comments and see what happened here. Jake, and these are comments from throughout the show. Jake says, hashtag free Marjan. I agree. Adam says, imagine being stuck with Fran and Kirk Ferentz for 2 decades. The thing about these guys, I mean, isn't Iowa basically like what we all think Wisconsin is? The loyalty. I mean, I'm talking about, is Luke Fickell going to be a forever coach? We thought Paul Chris was going to be a forever coach. He got bounced in year 7. These 2 Iowa guys have been there forever. They've never done jack shit. What have they done?
Fran hasn't made it past the Sweet 16, I don't think.
This is from Tavern Wisconsin Sports. Stat of the night. Fran McCaffrey has coached the Iowa tournament 11 times. No Sweet 16 berths.
So he hasn't even made it to the Sweet 16.
Bucky wants to talk a little soccer. Be warned, he says Argentina is destined to win. Messi's teammates will die in order for him to raise that trophy. Very good storyline there with Messi. We also have soccer killing the show. Classic Winkler. Yes, indeed. Tavern again says Giants, Commanders, Lions losses were so brutal. This team should at worst be 8-5. Such an embarrassing stretch that was. Even if we're 6-7, man.
Someone brought this up the other day. Do the Packers have the Packers lost to a bad team? Are the Jets bad? Are the Lions bad?
Well, no. Well, yeah, but the Packers, all these teams, probably not the Lions, but like, would the Packers be favored against the Giants this week? Yes.
Yes.
Would they be favored against Washington?
Yes.
Would they be favored against the Jets?
Yes.
Would they be favored against the Lions?
Where? Where's the game?
The Tokyo Dome.
If it's at Ford Field, I'd say no.
So then they lost a bunch of games they should have won.
Yeah.
Jake also says, for the record, one of the first-round picks given up for Russell Wilson is currently number 2 overall. Could you imagine if we had the number 2 pick? And this is the biggest thing with the Rodgers era that is frustrating about this year. We all figured, until we see what Jordan Love is, if that's even the guy, that after Rodgers, it would be bad. We all accepted that was coming. But none of us ever thought it would start to get bad when Rodgers is here. So now we have Rodgers, couldn't trade him, got nothing for him, and we have to suck. That's what sucks. That's what sucks.
Yep.
So I think that's it. We covered the Bucks. Great win on Friday. Tough loss tonight, although they'll move on. Big game against the Warriors on Tuesday. Very excited for that. Monday Night Raw is in Milwaukee on Monday. There is a chance that I go.
I knew it.
Well, so all my brothers, so with my brother coming back for Golden State, he'll be at the game. And my other brother lives here. And then I have another brother that just moved back. So the 4 of us are going to be in the same spot for the first time since the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. We've not all 4 been together at one time. And we were thinking, what do we do? Do we go to a bar and get wings? Or do we go to Monday Night Raw, even though I'm the only one of the 4 that even cares? So it's a little tug of war between the guys.
I'll talk to your one brother. I'll find out. We're best friends now.
Oh, I did mention that the other day. Yeah, I didn't talk to you about that, though.
No.
The moment we ended the show, was that Wednesday?
Wednesday's game.
Bucks played who? Kings. The
Kings.
Moment we ended the show, Tim went back out into the world to Uber. First guy he picks up is my youngest brother. Tim sends me a text. I have your brother. And then 2 seconds later, I get a FaceTime from him, just cooked. But he recognized you.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. It was good. It was good. He gave me a generous tip. Thank you.
He said he tipped you as much as the app would let him.
Yep. Thank you very much, Brother Winkler.
Well, there you go. Good. That's less money I have to pay you.
There you go.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. This is our Monday show. Tuesday, I got a couple of different things planned. I got a whole bunch of stuff planned this week, but none of it's like locked in. So Tim, if you're on the show tomorrow, that means everything fell through.
Tuesday. Yeah. I got you.
Everything fell through.
Wonderful. Well, I'll be waiting your phone call.
All right. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys listening. And we'll be back
Go
on
Badgers.
Tuesday. Go Badgers. Hey, I'll say it. Go Badgers.
There you
Go
go.
Badgers.